So I am opening this debate siding with that we need to abolish minimum wage. The minimum wage does not do any good for our society. By raising minimum wage, it causes four major damages. 1, it results in job loss. 2, it hurts low-skilled workers. 3, it has little to no effect on reducing poverty. And 4, it may result in higher prices for consumers. So it would result in job loss because evidence of job losses have been found since the earliest imposition of the minimum wage, while the aim is to help workers. Decades of economic research show that minimum wages usually end up harming workers and the broader economy. There is no free lunch when the government mandates a minimum wage. If the government requires that certain workers be paid higher wages, then businesses make adjustments to pay for the added cost, such as reducing hiring, cutting hours, reducing benefits, and charging higher prices. In 2010, Joseph Sabia and Richard Bachhazard, who both have their PhD in economics and a professor at American University, they estimated nearly 1.3 million jobs will be lost in federal minimum wage if the federal minimum wage is increased to $9.50 per hour. The poor target efficiency is one important reason why minimum wage increases are ineffective and at reducing poverty among workers. Adverse labor demand effects are another. The next reason being it would have little effect on poverty over the years. Federal minimum wage increased when it went from $5.15 to $7.25. Only 15% of the workers who were expected to gain from it lived in poor households. According to a 2012 review by Mark Wilson, who is a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Department of Labor, who is also the currently heads Applied Economic Strategies, LLC, and has more than 25 years of experience researching labor force economic issues. His review noted, one recent academic study found that both state and federal minimum wage increase between 2003 and 2007 had no effect on state poverty rates. Over the years, his academic studies found no good intentions on the reduction of poverty. First, the majority of poor Americans do not work at all for any wage, so raising it does not help them. Few minimum wage earners actually come from poor households. The next reason, it would hurt low-skilled workers. Evidence shows minimum wage increases disproportionately hurt the people they're supposed to help. The 2012 Wilson review of the New York State minimum wage increase from $5.15 to $6.75 per hour found a 20.2 to 21.8% reduction in the employment of younger, less educated individuals. Low-skilled workers are affected because businesses change their mix of workers when the minimum wage rises. If they must pay higher wages, companies hire more highly skilled and productive workers. The solvency points, which are to abolish the minimum wage, we basically just have to do it and the market corrects itself. Our implementation is the lifting of government regulations on the supply of labor, which Esteban will go into greater depth.